Hello, Mind's Eye Visual Guitar Method people. Well, as you can see, I'm back in the van, so not home to make any videos like I was last week, where I, of course, struggled to get myself to grind into making videos, but I did make 5 videos for beginners going to my channel. Not anything for any of you people who've been here and are looking for some new, deeper information. I didn't get that far into the videos, and I apologize. Some of those things are coming up next. What I wanted to do today was show you some of my new equipment that I got that'll really help you get used to practicing your scales in a musical way. Or not scales, but, you know, just being all over the fretboard and using my method to get familiar with your fretboard. You probably won't have this kind of money to spend, especially the way things have been in the latest global kind of thing. If you're watching this in the future, we're all dealing with stay-at-home orders in North America and recently around the world for COVID-19, coronavirus type of stuff. But anyways, I had been working for a while, saved up some money, and I was able to get this Aeros Loop Studio to go along with my Singular Sound Beat Buddy, Singular Sound Aeros Loop Studio. This is going right now for $5.99 on their website. I even got the there's a controller you can get for it too, which is kind of cool because it can get the beat to go in half speed or double time, which is really cool. But I didn't just to save complexity. I'm just using these two right now to get used to this pedal. It's quite a learning curve because everything's trying to get done with 3 buttons here, but I'm getting through it, and I want to show you what I made so far. I made 2 jams, both that do some key changing. One's a little bit awkward. It changes to a really distant key, and it's the jam is really cool in one key, but I find the key change a little too jarring. This one I like a little better. It all stays in the same key. Basically the progression goes 1, then to the 4, back to the 1, to the 4, back to the 1, then it goes 4, 5, 4, 5, 1 again, and that's the 1 is the beginning of the measure again. So that little part with the 4 and 5 really builds some tension. The 5 wants it to go back to the 1, and so when it returns to the 1, I find myself having a little tolerable song that isn't too repetitive. Then I made, because this thing can do 2 parts, there is a second part that's in E minor Dorian because, well, the original key, the 1 is D. So it goes D, G, D, G, D, G, A, G, A, D is the main part. And then when I switch gears, it goes, when I transition is what they call it, it goes into E, which is the second note in the D major scale, so Ionian Dorian. So it's a Dorian sound, and I try to add in some background chord voicings and notes that pulled out that sixth that kind of gives it that Dorian sound. So let's hear it right now. We'll hear it without the drums first. Here it goes. That's the 1, 4, G, 1, D, 4, G, 1, D, 4, G, 5, A, 1, G, 5, A, 4, G, and back to the 1. So, there's that. I misspoke in there. I said 1G. It was 4G. Not to be confused with 5G, right? Haha. No. Anyways, I didn't play the second part there, so I'll try to transition it to the second part here. Let's play it with the drums this time. I'll let it cycle through one time. There's our minor Dorian part. Want to transition back now? And you'd hear a D chord right there. I would just jam at the end. So, yeah, there's that. And all during that, I can play the key of D all over the fretboard, and it automatically gives it a Dorian sound, the Lydian sound, the Ionian sound, whenever those chords are playing. So, from there, I've been practicing staying on the chord tones during those respective chords and seeing how much better it sounds than just noodling. And not just staying on the chord tones, but playing around the chord tones, adding in some different tones that go back to the chord tones with each respective chord. So I'm noodling on a D shape, adding in extra notes, but coming back to the D shape, then adding in extra notes while I'm kind of thinking in my mind about the G shape for the 4 chord. And then the same with the 5 chord. And what I've noticed is bending into the chord sounds really good. So into the chord tones is what I wanted to say. So anyways, that's that. Coming up on this channel, hopefully next, some lessons, news you can use lessons that aren't just the beginner stuff. But I think I'm going to go, if you look at the beginner lessons, there's, I think, 5 parts. I believe it's the 5th one has a chart that's has 5 or 6, 7, 8 lines of music theory information that correlates with itself. And I'm going to start at the top and work down like a video for each line. And so the first video will be the 1 through 12. It'll be, why are there 12 notes in a Western music scale? What would it be like if there were 24 notes, or 53 notes, or 110 notes, or maybe only 5 notes? Why is there 12? We'll give it the best answer we can. I'm sure there's more answers, more definitive answers. I'm sure I don't have the 100% expert opinion on it, but I'm going to give you my some ideas, some solid ideas that you can use to satisfy that question if you have it yourself. So, okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. And if you're wondering what that is, it's the RP350, pretty old, quite discontinued processor that I think works okay. And if you heard a bass line in there, the bass line comes from there. That has a setting right here, guitar bass or guitar bass, obviously, which will turn my guitar into a bass. And that's the guitar I used right there, what looks to be an Ibanez but it is it ain't a real one. It's a nice looking version of one of them Steve Vai Gem guitars. Because, I can afford that. But I can't afford that. Okay. And the amp is a Fender Mustang 1 that I got for $70 at a music store in Tennessee. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you soon. As always, have fun, and we'll see you in the next lesson.